Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Another MSU football player off the gridiron and behind bars, accused of sexually assaulting a fellow student.
And an accuser comes face to face with the man who she says raped her.
He leaned down and he told me not to make any noise and not to do anything or he would hurt me.
New evidence comes to light in the case of a man charged with terrorizing women across Metro Detroit.
The best friend of a 17-year-old gunned down in Warren reacts to arrests in the case.
I'm just glad that he got justice, you know, because it took his life for no reason.
Kenny Cutts was a star football player at Roseville High School.
But yesterday, his life was cut short over an argument about a pickup basketball game. Tonight, Cutts' best friend is tearfully recalling those last moments. Jason Colthorpe following that for us. Jason, he had an awful lot to look forward to.
Boy, he sure did, Devin. As a junior at Roseville High School, as you said, start on the football team. His friends and his school taking the news pretty hard today, and that includes his best friend, who was holding him in his arms in his final moments.
Wasn't nobody expecting it to be Kenny.
Kenny Cutts wasn't even playing in the neighborhood basketball game this weekend that led to a fight involving Cedric Smith Cole, his best friend since second grade. But he was with Cedric Monday when those guys drove by looking for revenge.
He hopped out, put the gun all in Kenny's face and all that. Kenny tried to, go for the gun. He couldn't get it. We got to running. Then that's when they shot Kenny in the neck.
As the shooters took off, Cedric helped Kenny up and then down the street to his house where he tried to stop the bleeding.
Trying to put the towels on his neck, stop the wounds, but it was too much blood. He was squeezing my hand. I told him, if you die, bro, I love you. And I started squeezing his hand, and he was squeezing my hand, and he died.
Today, with blood still visible on Cedric's front door, some of Kenny's friends gathered and cried and remembered the kind of kid he was.
Quiet, kept to himself, got good grades, really respectful to his parents, his elders. This is really unfortunate. Had schools looking at him for football.
And then Kenny, he was just a good kid. He had a lot going for himself. And then for people to do this, they don't care.
And they were very happy to hear about the arrests in this case. 2 men in custody, and as I understand it from Warren Police, one of them will be charged as the shooter. He should be arraigned tomorrow. We're live in Warren tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
And Jason, you mentioned earlier a tough day at Roseville High School.
Yeah, they had crisis counselors on hand there when everybody got the news, and they're encouraging students who are struggling with this to reach out. The principal even tweeting just a few hours ago, "We mourn the loss of one of our own, Kenneth Cutts. Let's stick together as the Roseville family and keep the family in our prayers." The family, by the way, letting me know that there will be a vigil coming up this weekend.
Yeah, in our prayers too. All right, Jason. All right, now to following up some breaking news we first reported at 4 as a suspicious vehicle investigation at Detroit Metro Airport was going on. That investigation is now over. Facilities have just reopened the blue parking deck at the North Terminal as well as the Ground Transportation Center. They were temporarily closed as police investigated this. The specific details about the vehicle in question have not yet been released to us, but again, everything back to normal or getting that way at Metro Airport. Now let's get to a developing story out of Ingham County, which is where Austin Robertson, the now former MSU football player, appeared in court a short time ago.
Robertson was charged last week after police say he raped a female student. Mara McDonald is live in the newsroom with more. And Mara, it took a while to find him.
Well, Kimberly, he was with relatives in Fort Wayne when a police task force took him into custody. He waived extradition and was brought back to an Ingham County courtroom late this afternoon. Let's take a look. Now, the 19-year-old, now former MSU football player, has been charged with third-degree CSC. Prosecutors say he raped a woman on April 8th. The story goes he was walking her back to her apartment and then came in and forced himself on her despite her repeatedly saying no. Now, he's currently being held on a $250,000 bond. Now, this is the second serious allegation Robertson has faced. He was accused of a battery charge for inappropriately touching a female classmate in high school. He entered into a diversionary program, completed it, and those charges were just cleared from his record when this happened. Now, Robertson's arrest has nothing to do with another outstanding case where 3 other MSU football players are accused of sexually assaulting a student on campus back in January. As of right now, that case is still pending in the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office. Kimberly, Devin, back to you.
So, Mara, what about the charges? Are they likely to come down in this case anytime soon?
In that case, yes. The short answer, Kimberly, is yes. Why it is taking so long for charges to come in that case? Sources close to all of this tell us that there are procedural issues that are going on behind the scenes. Back to you.
A lot going on at MSU. Okay, Mara, thanks. Devin.
Day 2 of the serial rape trial of 32-year-old Ike Smith. Today, one of his accusers took the stand, delivering chilling testimony. Rod Maloney following this story for us. And Rod, she says she was caught completely off guard.
Indeed she was, Devin, and the range of emotion here is staggering. She said she wanted to kill her attacker if she could have, and she would have had she the opportunity, and yet she still was able to keep calm enough to save the evidence that allegedly connects him to this crime.
Oh no, this is not happening to me.
The first thoughts of a terrified woman lying in bed around midnight, the lights off, and a man came into her bedroom she thought was her boyfriend. She testified she never saw her attacker clearly, but he came armed with a screwdriver.
He leaned down and he told me not to make any noise and not to do anything or he would hurt me.
With her son asleep in the next room, the woman, a crisis counselor, asked him to close the door. He removed the bedclothes and her nightclothes and began to caress her and suck on her toes. He later forced her to perform a sex act on him. She tried to keep him talking.
I was trying to distract him because I'm an avid hunter and I have a .357 Magnum and a .30-30 rifle in my house. And I don't keep them loaded because my son is 5 and I'm big proponent of gun safety, but I wanted to get to the gun if I could. My .357 was in the top of my closet, which is at the foot of my bed. And so I thought if I could distract him with his back to me long enough, I might be able to get the gun.
She couldn't. Before her attacker left with her cell phone, though, she did ask him.
I said, you know, why are you doing this? This is a crime. You could be a normal, healthy person, have a relationship, a job, a child. Why are you doing this?
Did he respond?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
He said, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm stupid. This is stupid.
Now, think about this. The crisis counselor, as we talked about, said that she knew that she had his DNA on her foot, so she had the presence of mind not to wash her foot, and she went to the police and told them about that. They took a DNA swab, and the evidence that they later presented apparently connects him to this case. And so we'll have to see how much farther this goes and whether there's similar testimony in the days ahead. Back to you.
That is staying awfully clear-headed at a moment like that, Rob. But what about other evidence tying Smith to this attack?
Another one, she said that she heard him shuffling around in his pockets. She thought she heard paper. And the testimony today said that there was a McDonald's receipt that was on the floor. She said she had not been to McDonald's, nor her son. And so apparently there is looking to be evidence to show that he was, in fact, the owner of that particular receipt that was on her bedroom floor.
Fascinating. All right, Rod.
Police in Warren are investigating after a bank robbery. It happened just before noon today at the Chemical Bank on East 12 Mile near Hayes. Sky 4 was over the scene while police appeared to be searching an apartment complex nearby for the suspect. And this just into the Local 4 newsroom. We have just received the first images of the man police are searching for. Take a good look here. He's described as being about 5'8" to 6 feet tall, about 150 pounds. If you have any information, contact the Warren Police Department. Well, the school day had to be cut short at Berkeley High School.
Yeah, that's where school officials are saying a bomb threat was phoned in from New York this morning. It was left as a voicemail on the school's phone line, and students were sent home after the threat came in. The investigation into that phone call continues as police work now to ID the caller. On Detroit's west side, eastbound I-96 ramp at Grand River is back open after a cement truck overturned.
The ramp closed about noon today after that cement truck rolled over while trying to exit off the freeway. No word on what caused the driver to lose control.
Very similar situation a short time later in Auburn Hills. That's after this semi-rollover closed the northbound I-75 ramp to westbound M59, but apparently no injuries there, at least no word that there were. All right, Ben is out of the studio tonight. He's made his way to Livonia for a great event, and it's Bookstock time.
It is a fantastic event, and we'll talk more about Bookstock in just a moment. But first, let's talk about this perfect
It's pretty
weather.
good, too, yeah.
Very nice.
It is fantastic, and you know what? It's actually going to get better as we get later into the week. Kim and Devin, a fantastic afternoon. Temperatures have been hanging on either side of 70 degrees, depending on where you're at across the area. Well, look at those current temperatures outside, which going to go to 68 degrees as the Tigers are in town against the Mariners tonight. 7:10 first pitch, and by the end of the game, 60 degrees is what we're looking at, and it's going to be a mix of sun and clouds as we finish out the evening tonight. Temperatures above average today, well above average tomorrow. We'll look at that spike coming up. By the way, if you haven't been out to Bookstock in a while, this is the 15th year it's been going on here in Livonia. Laurel Park Place Mall. Come out and get some newer, gently used books at a pretty good rates. In fact, teachers getting half off today until 9 o'clock. That's how long things run. And if you can't make it out today, they will be open all the way until Sunday this week. And we are all over the mall. Every nook and cranny. You've got books from every genre you can think of. And by the way, coming up, we're going to be announcing the winner of the Best Awards. That's coming up at 5:30. Guys, back to you.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to it, Ben. Thank you.
All right, still ahead here, people who play the lottery soon going to see a price hike.
New tonight, which game is raising its price for a ticket and lowering the odds of winning at the same time? Coco?
A big announcement coming out of Midtown today.
It's always a good day when you can crack beer before noon, so.
We'll tell you more about the company that's decided to make Detroit its second home and how many jobs it'll bring to the city.
A new treatment giving hope to some patients battling cancer is considered inoperable. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll show you how it works and who it could help the most.
NBC. New at 6.
Where are the repair crews? A sinkhole outside a local church is becoming a problem too big to ignore. At 6 o'clock, the basic service the church is now being denied due to the growing danger.
Plus, you may remember this local mom accused of driving drunk on the very same day as her husband. New at 6, what she's now admitting and what's next for that couple.
Now to good health, a deadly cancer that is very difficult to detect.
But a new treatment is showing some promise for some patients who are battling pancreatic cancer. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a closer look, Doc.
Well, Devin and Kimberly, pancreatic cancer is often diagnosed at a later stage because it tends not to show symptoms early on. And that makes it incredibly challenging to treat. But a new procedure that uses pulses of electricity may offer a new option for some patients.
It was during a night out to dinner 4 years ago that Charles Corella started feeling sick.
We're ready to eat, and then suddenly I start feeling pain.
A few weeks later, he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
It never occurred to me that I was going to die.
Charles was referred to Dr. Robert Donaway, who's treating advanced pancreatic and liver cancer patients with a procedure called irreversible electroporation, or IRE.
Which basically means you place a probe in a tumor, you give an electric current through it. The electric current paralyzes the cancer cell's normal functioning, where the opening and closing of pores becomes paralyzed, and it becomes permanently paralyzed.
The procedure is giving hope to some patients with pancreatic cancers considered to be inoperable.
I think that when you take someone and you take them from a situation where they have no hope to giving them some sense of hope, automatically they walk out of the examining room as if they're different people. They're going on with a will to live.
4 years after this procedure, Charles is counting his blessings.
He had a hard time with that operation with me, he told me. But thank God, he did a good job. And I owe him my life.
Now, IRE is safe to use around blood vessels and bile ducts, so it allows doctors to treat tumors without harming those structures. And a recent study suggests it nearly doubled the median survival time of patients with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. Obviously, much more research is planned, and hopefully this will show more promise in the future.
Especially on this variety of cancer,
Right.
which seems so
very limited options, exactly.
Okay. Well, we have some good news for all you Paul McCartney fans out there. The music legend is coming back to Detroit this fall.
Going to perform Sunday, October 1st at the new Little Caesars Arena here in downtown Detroit. His last visit here was 2015, performed at a sold-out Joe Louis Arena. We've got ticket information at clickondetroit.com. You'll find it on the entertainment page. That'll be a pretty good stretch of the way they're christening that new arena.
Yeah,
a lot of great shows.
Good shows.
It'll be good
indeed.
stuff. Let's get back to Bookstock, huh?
Yeah, we've got Ben Bailey out there live telling us more about what's a fantastic event.
Yeah, it is, guys, and especially as the weather gets warmer, it'd be nice just to have some new books when you take them out of the back patio, take them with you to the beach, maybe to the lake on the other side of the state. We'll get to that in a second, but man, those temperatures out there, perfect today. Temperatures right around 70 degrees. Metro's right at that mark. So is Ann Arbor. Lapeer not far behind is 69. And we've got just enough of a breeze to stir things up, and that air is bone dry. Humidity, not an issue to speak of. Rain hanging out to our east across parts of Ontario. We've got more showers on the other side of Lake Michigan. All missing us as we're really not anticipating any raindrops in here until we get into Thursday. Tomorrow, temperatures spike, though, in that warm sector as parts of the area heading to 80 degrees. And we'll could see a shower or thunderstorm develop as we get into Thursday as this cold front gets closer to us. Even though it doesn't look like a whole lot of rain, there could be some gusty winds with some of those storms. And then on the other side of that front, that's when things start to cool down as we head into the upcoming weekend. So temperatures tonight dropping down into the low 50s. We're going to 54 with partly cloudy skies, a little bit milder than what we picked up last night. And tomorrow, pick day of the week as we go to near 80 degrees. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. The southeast breezes are going to be noticeable at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures do cool down as we go into the upcoming weekend, and it's not a completely dry one either, even though Saturday looks pretty nice. By the time we get into Saturday night and especially Sunday, we've got all kinds of rain headed in our direction as we close out the weekend. So we're live out here at Bookstock at Laurel Park Place. We're in the travel section. All kinds of stuff. In fact, very Detroit-centric books. Some of Mitch Albom's books are out here. If you want to travel around, get some books for other parts of the country, other parts of the world, you can see all that stuff too. And in the medicine section, I did notice this one kind of stuck out at me, You on a Diet. We're hanging out just near the Sanders shop here in Livonia, so I may need to pick this up on my way back because the willpower is starting to kill me. But also, if you went to Richmond High School, there seems to be about 8 yearbooks here you may want to pick up too. All kinds of stuff, and they keep refreshing these books each day. It is open from now until Sunday, 9 o'clock each night. Guys, back to you.
Sounds like a great variety.
I know, and I just love thinking about summer reading because it implies summer.
That's exactly right.
I love it. All right, Ben, we'll be back to you in just a bit. Yeah.
All right, let's check in with Hank.
It could end up being one of the biggest scams of the summer. Last year, hundreds of people right here in Metro Detroit were ripped off.
All right, Hank, but first, a dangerous species of spider that can cause very serious problems with just one bite, found here in Michigan. We'll have that next.
LuLaRich.
All right, across Michigan tonight, stories from Petoskey and a story affecting folks who like to play the lottery.
Well, let's start in Davison. That is where a woman found brown recluse spiders in her garage. So 5 counties in Michigan have now reported finding these poisonous fellas since 2011. The brown recluse is normally found in southern states, but of course we travel, so they can travel. They can be transported north through luggage, plants, particularly wooden items. They do bite. Most bites recorded have been minor. The spiders hide out in all those dark places that make it so much fun to encounter a spider. Attics, basements, garages. If you should spot one, you're urged to contact the Michigan Department of Agriculture or a pest control company because, again, they can be pretty serious.
Yeah, really.
Michigan Supreme Court hit the road today to hear arguments in the case of a man arrested for drunk driving in his own driveway.
This is really interesting. The court's judges appeared at Petoskey High School to hear the arguments. In 2014, police went to a Northville home over loud music. Officers saw the homeowner drive out of his garage, then back in before arresting him for being under the influence. 2 courts dismissed the charge. The court was at the high school today to expose students to the legal process. Well, the price of a Mega Millions ticket is about to go up, while the odds of you winning the jackpot are going down. Mega Millions tickets will go from being $1 to $2. A change to the rules is also coming. Players will have to pick from numbers 1 to 70 for the first set of picks, and then 1 to 25 for the second set. The change will boost the jackpot but drop the odds of winning. The changes take effect nationwide October 28th for the October 31st drawing. So,
got it.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got some big news here today at Local 4.
Very proud day here at WDIV. We're very honored to be awarded 3 Edward R. Murrow Awards. They include the award for Best Newscast. In fact, that was for this time slot, Local 4 News at 5.
Yep, huge award, and also an award for Best Continuing Coverage for our coverage of the Flint water crisis. And a big congratulations to photojournalist Matt Wilson. He won an award for excellence in use of sound. So we are very proud. And honored.
It is one of the highest honors
Yes.
In journalism, and you see a few faces, of course, on this newscast, but this really speaks to a lot of a dedicated army of people that help bring this
We do
our
the easy
newsroom to
part.
life. We do the easy part. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of heavy lifting that goes into it, and it's a real tribute to them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, back with more news in just a bit.
New at 5:30.
Novi Fire and Rescue were called to this assisted living facility early this morning to honor a life-saving resident. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Coming up, I'll introduce you to that hero who stands at barely 1 foot tall.
Forget about getting grounded. How a report right here on Local 4 led an irate mom to drag her son right to the police station.
Midtown is now making room for a company that's got a national name. We'll tell you more about the company and what it means for the city of Detroit.
Still making. Sky 4 over breaking news right now in Grosse Ile. A body has just been found in the water. The remains were discovered on the north end of the island. We do not yet know very much at all other than that. Not even word as to whether it is the body of a man or a woman. But this is live pictures that you're seeing from Sky 4. Again, a body recovered from the water on Grosse Ile. We've got a crew on the way on the ground, and we will pass along more information just as soon as we learn it. Keep it right here.
Meantime, brand new development is brewing up jobs in Detroit. One of Michigan's premier craft breweries is moving into Midtown. In just a matter of years, Founders hasn't just turned into a Michigan favorite. Its craft brews are sold all around the country.
Been quite a story, and now the Grand Rapids-based brewery expanding and opening up shop this winter in Midtown. Coco McAvoy following that for us, and for beer lovers and others, Coco, it's big news.
We're really happy to announce today the redevelopment of this 456 Charlotte property.
Transforming this building that's been vacant for years into this, a 14,000 square foot tap room right in Midtown.
It's always a good day when you can crack beer before noon, so.
Dave Ingbers and Mike Stevens, the founders of Founders Brewing Company, made the announcement today.
This is our backyard. We sell a heck of a lot of beer down here.
All day IPA. People spending the day at a local dog park in the Cass Corridor can vouch for that.
I like to drink Founders beer, and so it's pretty news to me.
Michael Feltz agrees.
I mean, I love craft beers, and Founders is a great one.
Even people from out of state, like Eddie Quintero, are looking forward to coming back to the city for the brewery.
Exactly. It's another reason, another excuse to come visit Detroit.
Ingbers and Stevens says there's no better place for their second tap room than downtown Detroit.
We're honored to kind of, put our elbows together and be a part of a community that kind of gets what raw guts and grit and just, go for it kind of mentality looks like.
And out here live now, you can see the notice is already up on the door, and they plan to open this come wintertime. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4, back to you.
Well, and Coco, it means not only bringing beer to the city, but some jobs, too.
Yes, they plan to bring about 100 jobs to the city, and they're hoping to start hiring people this summer.
Which is great to hear. All right, Coco. All right, time now for an update to a story we first brought you yesterday.
The suspects in the Plymouth Miracle League vandalism case have been identified thanks to our report. You may recall seeing the surveillance video showing those vandals inside the field designed for children with special needs. Well, after watching this, a local mom recognized her child and brought them to the police station. The suspects are all juveniles. so their names are being withheld. Big changes in the Big Easy. New Orleans is the latest in a number of growing Deep South cities to purge its public space of Civil War era memorials. It's a move that is sparking strong opinions. Some say the memorials are historically significant, but others dismiss them as offensive relics of white supremacy. The City Council voted to remove the statues back in 2015, but legal hurdles slowed that process. When the first monument came down early Monday morning, workers wore helmets and tactical vests. City officials say they've gotten death threats, so they're keeping quiet about when the other monuments will come down. For people on both sides of the issue, it's a question of heritage versus a difficult and painful past.
I don't think that you can rewrite history. It doesn't seem fair that you should take away history.
That is not history, that's a statue. The history that Jefferson Davis led the Confederacy is never going to change.
Mayor argues the statues do not represent the diversity of the city.
Today, Congress is back, and so are questions about Russia and alleged ties to the Trump administration. New questions about now fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and whether he broke the law, once again plaguing the White House, just as the president is trying to focus on his 100-day accomplishments. Blaine Alexander has more from Washington. Blaine?
Well, Devin, it's now been more than 2 months since Michael Flynn was fired, but really this is an issue that just continues to plague this White House. And now at least one lawmaker is calling for Flynn to come in and testify before Congress. As he approaches his 100-day mark, President Trump unable to shake questions about Russia and the national security advisor he fired, Michael Flynn.
I'm fairly curious as to how widespread this is.
Today, key lawmakers demanding to know whether Flynn broke the law when applying for security clearance by not disclosing travel to and payment from Russia.
I mean, he was supposed to get permission and he was supposed to report and he didn't, period. I mean, there's no evidence of it.
In a statement today, Flynn said he did nothing wrong. The top Democrat and Republican of the Oversight Committee also pointing at the White House, which they say refused to supply Flynn's documents when requested.
The documents in question, the Department of Defense possessed and sent over to him. The documents that occurred before he worked here would be up to him to turn over.
This as Congress tries to pass a spending bill by Friday to avoid a government shutdown.
And don't shut down the government to try to distract people from your failed 100 days in office.
The president now backing away from his demand for border wall funding, despite a tweet that it is still a priority.
Frankly, it's not as important as funding the entire government of the United States.
4 days shy of day 100, the White House now launching a new website touting the president's accomplishments as he looks to add another tax reform. And now we're getting our very first glimpse at that tax reform plan that's set to be released tomorrow. We're told that it includes major corporate tax cuts, already questions arising about how to pay for it. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, a lot to watch here before Saturday. Ben, as you know, is at Bookstock at Laurel Park Place in Livonia tonight.
So are a lot of other people, so let's get out to him. And Ben, it's time to give out some awards, I understand.
That's right, Karen and Devin. We're just about to announce the winner of this year's Best Essay Awards. Here's Mike Morse with the winner. Mike.
Okay, so we'll do both. Our winner's favorite character helped teach her about friendship and persistence. They've been together through lots of books and lots of adventures. Please, everybody, with a warm, loud welcome, congratulate winner Chartreuse Cargill and her teacher Karen Brown, Principal Sheila Davis, and the entire Garvey Academy. Congratulations. Very exciting. Thanks.
You heard it. That was the winner, and all 5 finalists are walking away with thousands of dollars in prizes, not only for themselves, for the teachers, and for the schools that are involved in this year's contest. We'll be back with your forecast coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Great look on her face there.
You could tell she was proud, but so shy.
But trying to be cool about it, too, at the same time. That's really great, yeah. Well, smiles and a few tears at Brookdale Senior Living Facility in Novi this morning as staff members spoke about a resident who had a medical emergency.
But as Evrod Cassimy explains, that resident received help from an unlikely source.
Novi Fire and Rescue and Novi Police were at this assisted living facility early this morning to honor a resident for their heroic efforts. That resident, however, was barely 1 foot tall. Ray Overall got a civilian citation from Novi Police this morning, and so did his dog Max. The 14-year-old rat terrier helped save a life in the middle of the night.
I heard a thump, and I thought it could have been out in the hall or somewhere, and he started barking, and I just told him, I'll be polite, shut up.
But Max wouldn't shut up. He knew someone was in trouble and needed help.
I heard the fate above me, help, 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 about 4 times. So jumped into my pants and came down and notified the security here.
Our EMTs and firefighters from Engine 2 responded, and they provided patient care for a female who had obviously fallen and had a medical emergency.
That was nearly a month ago. Today, in front of other residents, staff, and Novi law enforcement, Ray and Max were acknowledged and thanked for helping save that woman's life. An award and a round of applause for Ray, and even more fitting, a bone for his animal companion, Max.
I was just fortunate to be here. I'm sorry. Felt good. Yeah. I didn't expect all this, I'll let you know.
And I'm told that Novi Fire and Rescue have been called to this assisted living facility before, but coming here to honor a dog is definitely a first. In Novi, Evrod Cassimy, Local 4.
Pretty awesome story. Thank you, Evrod. And don't forget about our special effort, All for Pets, including our growing gallery of your pets.
We have received hundreds of pictures of pets, as a matter of fact, as we look at the gallery here. It'll just keep expanding as more come in. If you want to take a look, head to clickondetroit.com/pets. Really great. A police chase through the streets of California, making news for what did not happen, actually.
New tonight, what made this situation so unusual, and why police had such a hard time stopping the driver.
Also, a husband charged with the murder of his wife. New here at 5:30. How a Fitbit may end up being the one key piece of evidence in the investigation. Hank?
Help Me Hank scam alert, the one big scam you need to be aware of because these thieves are starting to make their move.
It's Jeopardy! New at 6.
On the walls and in the halls of Hamtramck Academy, they've got some good signs up. Encouragement, gratitude, compassion, wisdom, all things that are good things for students to learn. Also good things to apply when you're talking about families losing something, and in this case, families in Fraser. But how does Hamtramck and Fraser tie together? This tells that story.
Plus, in good health, Germ Alert, the new report that will have you immediately reaching for a wipe to use on your phone or your computer.
Okay, now here at 5:30, Help Me Hank scam alert, and it reveals the scam that experts believe is going to end up targeting hundreds of people here in Metro Detroit this summer.
And it's not a new scam, but the people behind it have likely changed their story and their pitchman. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester explains how it works and how not to fall victim to it.
These scammers likely back in the area already because they make their move in the spring and early summer months. Their goal, simple, to financially drain you. Your cash, thousands of dollars, could disappear if you fall for it. It's back and expected to be bigger this year than last year. We're talking about the driveway or seal coating scam. The pitchmen and women who take your money and fail to do the work.
Seal coating, sadly, will never go away. It is one of the easiest things to fall prey to.
Here's why. Those behind the scam rarely take no for an answer. They're persistent, demanding, and downright sinister.
The difficulty with that scam in particular is the product is inferior. More than likely, it's an itinerant provider, meaning that they're going door to door and you can never find them, or that they're using somebody else's great reputation in order to take advantage of you.
Last summer, police in at least 10 local police departments issued alerts about the scam. Arrests were made, cases closed, but there were hundreds of victims, many elderly, and many of whom lost big money. We remember this disturbing video from last summer catching seal coating thieves helping an elderly victim out of their truck. They took her right to her credit union so she could get the $4,000 owed after they laid a useless thin layer of asphalt on her driveway.
I said, $4,000? I said, I don't have that kind of money. He says, well, I need cash. I was scared. So stupid me, I got in the car.
This case just one of many that police are worried could easily get repeated this summer. There are reputable driveway and seal coating crews out there, but be alert, ask questions, and be aware. And we have more information about this particular scam and also summer scams that you should be aware of. You'll find it all on the consumer page at clickondetroit.com. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
Is that time of year. So if you have something you think Hank should check out, you can send an email, contact Hank on Twitter or on Facebook. Figure skating in Detroit does a lot more than teach girls how to skate. It also builds confidence and leadership and academic success.
And this weekend is actually your last chance to check it out. This is modeled after figure skating in Harlem. It's for girls ages 6 to 15 who live in the city. Figure Skating in Detroit plans to serve 300 girls with after-school and summer programs, and this Saturday is the last introductory workshop for girls and their parents to check out this program. You can sign up online. We've put a link on the community page at our website at clickondetroit.com.